for joining us for our January 2022, that is not 2022, edition of ExtraHop TLDR. Too late to do resolutions. Come on now, people, we got to pick it up. A quick refresh, seriously though, a quick refresh of what you may have missed in cybersecurity. I'm Rachel Peppel.
Happy New Year. I'm Paul Diddy.
And I'm Justin Carter, and each month we're going to recap some interesting stories from ExtraHop and other cybersecurity industry leaders so you don't have to. Everything we talk about today will be available on our blog, and we'll include a link at the end of the broadcast. Okay, Rachel, you want to kick us off?
I do want to kick us off. I want to kick us off with a quick update on last month's Log4Shell vulnerability. ExtraHop threat researchers actually started to observe about 36 hours after that vulnerability was disclosed that attackers in the wild were already using encrypted traffic to avoid detection. It was a pretty amazing switch, guys. I mean, they went from port 80, which is HTTP, to port 443, which is HTTPS, trying to hide what they were doing really fast within the first 36 hours.
Yeah, and the use of encrypted traffic will completely hide post-compromised Log4Shell activity from many security detection and investigation tools.
As a remote code execution, or known as RCE vulnerability, the Log4Shell vulnerabilities can be the starting point of nearly any type of attack, and some post-compromise activities that have been observed to include coin miner activity, ransomware, and lateral movement.
The good news is that ExtraHop RevealX can detect all of these activities, even if they're happening within encrypted traffic. So if you're a RevealX customer, you can go and enable decryption capabilities by heading to the SSL TLS decryption page of the ExtraHop documentation website.
And speaking of RevealX, we also recently released a firmware update to help combat Log4j exploits and add some new features.
We expanded our detection formats page to include a detection catalog. You can still create custom formats, but now you can also view all built-in detections.
And you can't find what you can't see, which is why we've included decryption-enabled detections. That is a mouthful. Now, the good news is that now you get visibility into encrypted traffic, where most attacks are often hidden.
You can also archive and restore threat briefings, set up email responses when a new threat briefing is published, and you can also manually change device models.
You can read the full rundown of features in our release notes, and the firmware update should be visible in the administration settings. We've got a blog with all this information by our own Gina Khan, and ExtraHop's Josh Snow also has a video breaking down 8.7.
Here at ExtraHop, we solve problems, and we give you the tools to help you stay informed and protected. With ransomware attacks becoming a major occurrence, we have an updated initiative page that's filled with resources to help you keep your company safe.
That's right. Modern ransomware is no longer just an encryption play. Attackers get their claws in your network infrastructure to amplify damage and halt your business operations. So stop them before they set their extortion trap.
This new initiatives page comes with a timeline breakdown of the attack cycle, related resources, and a link to our live demo. So head on over to the ExtraHop Solutions page to learn how you can keep Mr. Ransomware out of your network.
And another group ready to help you defeat attackers are our friends over at the SANS Institute. For the last 5 years, they've conducted a Security Operations Center, or SOC, survey, and this year's report continues to provide great insight for SOC leaders and other security professionals.
Some of their key findings include the most targeted industries and common challenges to having full SOC capabilities like staffing and technology.
Yeah, this report is chock full of detailed information, and we encourage you to take a look and head over to their website too for a complete list of their questions and statistics. Now it's time for Threat of the Month. And since we were talking earlier about post-compromise activity related to Log4j, today we're digging into crypto mining malware.
That's right. Crypto mining malware, or cryptojacking, is a malware attack that co-opts the target's computing resources in order to mine cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. This malware uses a system CPU and sometimes GPU to perform mathematical calculations that result in long alphanumeric strings called hashes. That's a mouthful.
Apparently, that is the theme of today, is things that are really hard to say, Justin.
Yeah.
Anyway, Cryptojacking is a relatively new attack, but one that is gaining popularity amongst bad actors. Initially, browser-based cryptojacking was the primary method of hijacking resources, but declined sharply after CoinHive shut down in 2019.
Attacks that run within a browser are easily stopped just by closing the browser tab, but crypto mining malware is more difficult to root out. Malware can be hard to detect on endpoints and can run on computers, smartphones, or IoT devices.
Smartphones or smartphones, Paul?
Phones.
Okay, just so Again, everything's a mouthful today.
So how do you distinguish it from all the legitimate processing that happens across endpoints? Crypto mining involves extended open connections with a compromised endpoint. Monitoring the network for unusually long connections is one method of detection.
But the most effective method to detect is network detection and response, which uses machine learning to understand behaviors on the network, allowing it to recognize crypto mining tells, like when an outbound connection is made in order to send the currency to the attacker, or when crypto mining protocols like Stratum are used.
To learn more about crypto mining malware and its risk factors, head on over to the CyberTech glossary in the ExtraHop resources page.
Now let's move on to some cyber news around the internet. Few technology concepts have been more confused and distorted as zero trust. Dark Reading recently broke down how companies can shift their mindset to build better security practices. You can check out all the articles on the website.
And finally, now that the holidays are over, it's time to make sure that your kid toys are safe from hackers. Fisher-Price, because apparently they hate us, recently released a reboot of their famous Play phone, which is now Bluetooth enabled and can also function as a speaker, because that's definitely what we need.
It can also be accessed by anyone nearby with a stable Bluetooth connection, which allows strangers to listen in to your children playing. So yes, now you can listen to my kiddos argue over watching Encanto or Frozen 2 on Disney+. Seriously though, we don't talk about Bruno, and as easily accessible listening device isn't something that you can just let go in your home. Check out that story, and remember the original toy phone doesn't have any privacy issues and still retails for about $13.
Does it still ring though? Because if it rings, it can't come into my house. It can't come into my house then. Nothing that makes noise.
Agreed. That can't exist in my house either.
It's a threat to my personal security, my mental security.
Well, that's going to do it for this month's TLDR. I'm Paul Diddy.
I'm Justin Carter.
And I'm Rachel Peppel. And you can find all the stories we've discussed today on our blog by heading to the link below, extrahop.com/TLDR.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you all next month for more stories and all things cybersecurity.
Stay safe, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.